My name is Erin Bouchard and I'm the owner of Once Upon a Time Weddings. Once Upon a Time Weddings is a bridal, bridesmaids, and accessory store located in downtown Strathroy. I started this business over 10 years ago by doing wedding invitations and some wedding planning. I just loved the excitement around the time of an engagement. I loved working with brides as they planned their wedding. I loved being with them throughout the entire process. As I was planning my own wedding, I went to a few different stores and I felt like they were all kind of cookie cutter experiences. And nobody really got to know me and my wedding day and what I hoped for a dress. And so I wanted to create that for brides. I wanted to create a place where they could come in and have a say yes story instead of just find a dress. It is so important for us to create a relationship with our customers. And in fact, it starts long before they even step foot. We have an entire process that we take brides through before they even come into the store. Often we will pick a bride's dress before she even comes in because our process is so thorough. There have been lots of challenges in my business that I've had to overcome. Some of the biggest ones surround designers. So we've had a couple designers go bankrupt on us. They stopped shipping us dresses and we didn't know what was going on, and we had to contact brides who had already picked out their wedding gown and tell them that their dress wasn't going to arrive for their wedding. Those were the hardest experiences of my life because customer service and experience is so important to us, but it taught us so much. I can remember after surviving those crises thinking this is my moment to figure out if I am going to let this destroy us or am I going to learn from it and grow from it. We really had to take a good hard look at our numbers and decide what we wanted to be good at. We lost our designer that we used for mom's, bridesmaids, prom, and grad. And so we had to make the decision, do we invest more money into a different designer or do we just focus on bridal? And it ended up being the best decision we ever made. We pared everything back and we only sold wedding gowns for 3 years. We became the experts at wedding gowns and then we slowly added, so now we do bridesmaids. 2019 was a bit of a hard year for the store, and so when COVID hit, I had just had a baby and not taken a maternity leave, so it was kind of a nice little break to be able to be off for a little bit. But with it came a lot of stress. What will happen to the business? What will happen to my employees? Will we still be here once COVID is over, and how long will it last for? That was, I think, the hardest part for me. COVID was all about learning to pivot. It's really difficult to sell wedding gowns online. During our first lockdown, we did introduce the concept of virtual appointments. Doing the Zoom calls before they came in made the appointments so much smoother. Even with COVID, we ended up having a really great year last year in 2020, and so we're hoping to still continue to build on that growth, to kind of fine-tune some of our processes that we had to during COVID and continue to expand our reach outside of this little area. We were able to qualify for some of the loans from the government during COVID, as well as my staff were able to utilize the CERB while they were off. It just gave us a little cushion as we waited to reopen. I think I've emerged from this time just really focusing on what matters. It's kind of like when we went through that shipping crisis before and we came out, what do we want to do? It's the same, I love this business and I want to keep helping brides and working with them, but what really matters in my business? And for so many business owners, the drive to succeed can sometimes interfere with family and life, and it's hard to find that balance. It's hard to be a good business owner and be a good mom and be a good wife and be a good family member. I think COVID's really taught me that you can be both. You don't have to be working 100-hour work weeks and sacrificing home time. When we reopened in May, up until we closed in December, I only worked in the weekends in the store, so it gave me a week with my kids, and then I would come in on the weekend. So I'm just, finding that balance between being here, being with them. I think the things I have gone through, the mistakes I've made, the failures I've made, have shaped who I am now. I've survived and I've learned from them and I've grown, and I'm not so afraid to make a mistake or to screw up because I know I've gotten through that. I can get through this. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that saved me with COVID is when COVID hit, I looked back at my business and I thought, look at all these other things you've gone through and you've survived those and you've grown from them and you've become a better business owner.